What's up, guys? JR Raymond back again, coming to you from Classic Lanes here in Rochester Hills, Michigan. This is home of MRB Classic Pro Shop, so head up here. If you need something done locally, make sure to head over here. Come see Mason up at the Pro Shop. Otherwise, for all your other bowling needs, head over to bowlerx.com. Use promo code JRX. Get yourself a little bit of a discount. But today, we're going to talk a little bit about that question that always comes. How do I figure out what bowling ball does something different than the next? How do we figure out what our bowling balls do? How do I know that this ball rolls earlier than this one or that one rolls earlier than this one? Because most people, we can't see the front 15 feet of the lane. So today we're going to talk about a trick to show you how to determine what ball is different than the other ones. So stay tuned. All right, so the hardest thing to do is to figure out what bowling ball to go to. When a ball starts to lose its energy or starts to hook early or go too long, most people you're just kind of willy-nilly, just throwing a different ball, trying to figure out how to get the 10 pin to fall or how to get the 7 pin to fall or what do I need to do to get my ball to roll sooner. So they don't really know, they just kind of guess based on, okay, I think I heard this ball is supposed to roll sooner, but they don't know if the ball rolls sooner for you or not, or if it rolls later for you, because the ball is going to be different based on what you do and how you roll the bowling ball. So just because it's an early rolling bowling ball for one person, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what it's going to be for you. So we have to figure out exactly where these balls are rolling in your lineup. So what I'm going to show you, I brought 3 balls out here today. I've got an IQ Tour, an original IQ Tour. I've got a Track Intuition, and then I've got a Rogue Assassin. Okay, so 3, completely different bowling balls from each other. So the first thing we got to do is we got to figure out where our positive axis is. That's the first step. So if you don't know how to do that, I made a video. I'm going to put a link up here for you. You can go take a look at that video, how to find your positive axis, or head to your local pro shop. They can help you find it as well. Okay. As soon as you find it, make sure to put a small piece of tape, white tape, colored tape, I don't care what tape, just as long as you can see it. It's got to be visible in a video because I say in a video because you can't see, most people cannot really see the first, let's call it 10 feet of the lane on what your ball's doing. So you need to get it into a video so you can actually watch the ball roll, okay? So you're gonna put a piece of tape on your positive axis on every single ball that you own. Then you're gonna go through your progression. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these 3 balls, I'm gonna put them on video for you so you can see how they roll. What we're looking for is when this tape starts to change direction, okay? So when I first throw the ball, this tape is gonna be solid. It's going to rotate and it's going to be a solid ring all the way through until the ball starts to change direction. Once the ball starts to change direction, you'll start to see that ring start to get wider and wider and start to rotate. When you start to see that, that's when you know that the core and the cover is trying to take over and starting to see friction on the lane and starting to roll in a different direction. So let's throw a couple of shots with these. I'm going to stand in the same spot with each ball and you'll be able to see exactly the difference between these, and then we'll talk about it. So let's start with, let's go with the Rogue Assassin first. I've already put my mark on each one. So I'm going to start with my feet on 30. I'm just going to find a target. Just roll it over the target.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and slow down this video. You have the opportunity to do the same thing with your phone, but when you take this video, you want to pay attention to where the ball starts to rotate. So you see I slowed this down, and we're going to pause it right here. This is about the area that this ball, this Rogue Assassin, is starting to make its turn. It's starting to change off of that solid dot.
So now we're going to take the next ball. We're going to take and try and play in the same area. We're going to take the Track Intuition, okay? Again, I already have the piece of tape on it. I'm going to stand in the same spot. Try to throw it in the same general area. Let's see what this one does. Same hand position.
So now you can see, when I throw the second ball, if I overlay the images on top of each other, watch, we're going to pause it here in a second. You can see how much further down the lane the Rogue Assassin actually went compared to the Intuition. The Intuition, even though it's a shiny ball, for some reason started to pick up the lane sooner. So that's one of those things I told you to pay attention to.
Okay, now we're going to take our final ball. we're gonna do the same thing. Now, one key thing that you need to pay attention to here is you don't have to get your positive axis perfect, okay? We just need it to be right. You know, it has to be really close. It doesn't have to be perfect because we just need to be able to see when it's gonna change direction, when it's gonna start to rotate and move away from that solid, steady circle that you see. So I'm gonna take my third and final ball and throw a shot in the same area.
All right, so now when we take a look at this IQ tour, we're going to notice that it's going to go down the lane quite a bit further before that dot starts to wobble.
Okay.
When we slow this down and you really look, this thing gets past the arrows before you see it start to really wobble there. So when we compare it to the other two, you can see it's a good 5, 6, 7 feet further down lane before it starts its motion. So this is a good prime example of why just because a bowling ball is dull, that doesn't mean it's going to be earlier. Or just because a bowling ball is shiny, that doesn't mean it's going to be later. So we got a shiny intuition here that's rolling earlier than a dull Rogue Assassin and a dull IQ Tour. So surface is a big deal. We should be able to we can then make the IQ Tour and the Rogue Assassin roll earlier. We can get those into an earlier roll. That's not a big deal. But this is a prime example of how this takes place and how you can actually take a look at your own equipment and see what bowling ball fits where and why one bowling ball rolls earlier. Now, this is going to be different from place to place that you go. Just because it does this on a league pattern, this could flip. The intuition might be longer on a different pattern. So paying attention to these things and really testing them on different patterns in different situations could be really good for some of you more advanced bowlers. So I hope this helps. I hope this gives you a little bit of something to look into. But I'm out of here, guys. So until next time, please make sure to subscribe and pay attention to everything we got coming up video-wise. And we'll see you guys later.